And then some people, I see why they who are members of the church have a problem participating in the church, because church membership involves a price. It costs you to belong to a church. First of all, it costs you care. Everybody say care. If you're a member of the church, you ought to care about your church. I mean, you ought to care if the roof leaks. You ought to care if the grass ain't cut. You ought to care if the mortgage ain't paid. Lord have mercy. You ought to care if the church is growing or dying. You ought to care if the ministry is going forth. You ought to care about your church, and it costs you to care. And then if you really belong to a church, not only should you care about the church, but you should be connected to the church. You should have some kind of connection to the church where it's not just a building you walk by or a name that's in your catalog or something you put on your resume. You ought to have a connection to the church. Belong to some ministry. Know some people. Get connected, because what good is it to be in the body if you're not connected to the body? So you ought to have a connection to the church. And then if you're a real member of the church, you ought to have some cooperation in the church. Lord have mercy. Cooperation. See, when you join a church, membership should be a pleasure, but sometimes it feels like a price. And it feels like a price because we don't have cooperation. But none of us can make it as a church. We cannot operate as a church if we don't cooperate as members. No one person should be required or even be asked to do everything. Everybody has a place. Everybody has a part. And if you're a member, you'll cooperate. And not only cooperate, but membership requires contribution. Everybody say contribution. You don't just join a church to see what you can get out of the church. You join a church to see what you can bring to the church. It's like those people that every time they smell something cooking, they come running up to the table with knife and fork. Ain't put nothing on the table, ain't cooked nothing, ain't even brought no salt and pepper. But when anything is going on, they got their feet under the table. It's not what you get out of the church, it's what you bring to the church. Bring your time, bring your talents, bring your tithe.